Everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Just going out and just relaxing, doing a little stroll, getting back into the swing of things. Summer's just starting to wind down, and hopefully we'll have some more content coming on the channel pretty soon here. Uh, but yeah, so we're gonna be doing another topic video for today. Excuse me, I just don't know why I just got a little bit anxious for some reason. Just been dealing with some anxiety for a while, so just excuse me if you see me seem a little anxious. So, just an FYI. But we're gonna do another topic video for today, and this one is an interesting one because I had recorded this video actually 2 weeks ago, and I never put it up mainly because I wasn't happy with how I presented my claim. I just kind of devolved into like kind of just repeating myself and not necessarily giving a full argument or a full like perspective. So I'm just doing away with that and re-recording it and just presenting my claim hopefully a lot more thoroughly and more understanding, because it's a very specific thing to discuss in the discussion of hype, in the anticipation of films, with the internet talk and all of that. And why personally for me, when I see all that, I think of it as a rather destructive thing in the art of critical thinking. And when you're looking at something and you're trying to present a viewpoint that isn't skewed or represented through a certain emotional rush that was developed, I just wanted to kind of give a better point on that. Um, so as I kind of laid out to you, like, hype in film is not, hype in film is driven by that emotional edge. There's that, it might be like based on like a notable IP, say like a Marvel film or Star Wars or whatever, and you're attached to it, you're a fan. And this mostly stems from fandom, where that hype comes from is that of fandom, or just people who just are sheep and they just want to just, be a part of that experience of being in that room and just getting that adrenaline rush or whatever the case may be. And it contributes more to the claim that Martin Scorsese, because that claim that Martin Scorsese made so long ago about the theatrical experience being a theme park attraction, it's become so much more real, I think, especially maybe just me getting older and just becoming more aware of things. It's very, very true what he said, and you just think that back then when that statement was made, you just notice how many people were just so frowning upon that. Like, how dare, like, that's not right. Obviously people come into the theatrical experience for a certain thing, it's not just because it's a theme park attraction or whatever like that. But it seems more evident today than anything. I mean, I just reviewed Alien Romulus, and that pretty much is a roller coaster ride, in essence how it is built. Literally, in dialogue, to some extent, it is that of a theme park attraction. And I didn't love Alien Romulus because of that. And it appears though that people enjoy that film for that specific reason. But I also come to see that a lot of films today, or a lot of specific recent releases, a lot of the positivity, we shall say, kind of stems from that of hype and anticipation, and from a specific viewing of said film. And I don't believe that specific viewing is completely valid in terms of presenting a claim or a criticism or a review of said piece, when your experience of watching the film is nothing but screaming and yelling and, oh my god, that sort of reactions. Like, I wouldn't say that you can present a well-dimensioned and well-understanding, view of what you just watched, because you just came out of a concert. You just came out of, just an adrenaline high, and it seems though that like films like Deadpool, for instance, where there seems to be on the outside a lot of positive responses, but then when you look into it, aka detaching from all the noise that comes from films like that, tentpoles, or the adrenaline, all that type of energy, when you detach yourself from that energy, and you go look for reviews elsewhere, people who are actually taking the time and actually not feeding into that sort of nature and just watching films as is, like normal fucking people would, you'll see that the responses are actually very different. And same thing with something like Alien Romulus or with other films. It's just, I've noticed that quite a bit, lately, where the positive responses are usually coming from those who are just like, wow, screaming and all that. And I don't necessarily think that they have the best in judgment in what they just watched, or just experienced. Um, and it's not to say that they can't have fun. I mean, I'm not a complete like, I'm not, I don't know what the word is, but like, I'm not a party pooper. Obviously, I mean, if you're having fun, you're having fun, and that's great. I mean, it's great to have a fun experience, and with like friends and all that. It's a good experience. However, I would say that if you were to judge the movie as a movie, I don't think that you would have the proper viewpoint. I think that you're just specifically having a fun time. For instance, let me give you an example because I've been in that space before. I know how it feels. Um, I went to see Independence Day Resurgence, specifically. Not a good movie at all. Really not a good movie. And my experience with it was actually really positive because up until that point, I actually had a really good day. I was having just a really fun time with my friends, and all of my, like, just judgments or critical eyes or whatever like that was completely tossed out. And when I went into the theater, I was just having a goofy time with my friends, and we actually saw, we had a double billing, so we had the first film and the second film back to back. And I was just goofing around with my friends. We were just having a good time, and I didn't really consider what I was watching, so I presumed, based on my fun experience with my friends, that Independence Day 2 had to have been good based on that fun time that I just had. But that wasn't the case, obviously. When I came back and revisited the film, it was not good. And a reason why I attributed the film to be fun was because I just had a fun time with my friends. But having that fun experience does not mean that what you watch, that product, is inherently good. It just means that you just had a good time and there was a movie that was literally playing in front of you, but you didn't consider the movie. The movie is just a it's just a part of the experience at that point. Um, so um, it's in saying that I'm not against the fun. I'm just saying that I don't know if your experience lends itself to critical eye or having a mature view of what you just watched. And hence the judgment of it all, or the view of what you've watched, is rather questionable at best. Um, so you know, so I like, but and personally for me, like I don't really know about going into film and having people like that in my theater. Thankfully, I've never had an experience like that where people are just like screaming their heads off. I've seen those videos online where it's like people are just in a big theater and everyone's just like going crazy and stuff like that. I personally would find that very annoying. Like, just talking on a personal note, I would find that very annoying if I just had people around me just screaming their heads off because I'm trying to watch a movie. If you want to have that energy, like, that's fine. But at the same breath, it's like, out of respect for the other people in the theater, like, you know what I mean? It also jeopardizes my viewing, because I don't want to be fed certain energy. I'm trying to watch a film here, if I'm trying to have a good time with the film, not necessarily like we're out of the bar or something. So, you know what I mean? So, because it's just making that distinction, and I think that the issue that a lot of people have when in hype is that their individuality, that distinction, is no longer there. And that, like I said with my example of Independence Day 2, it's now just one and the same in their eyes. If I had fun, obviously it's because the movie was fun. And that's not the case. So, um, so it's about detaching from that, and some people are good at that. Some people can understand to make that distinction when they're watching something and have that critical eye, or have that, looking at things in a way that is viewing the movie as the film, and be able to give a certain viewpoint, you know, like, at that point, then your view is more valid because you're actually focusing and being more attentive to the film, and not drawing on the energy that's surrounding you over here, you know? But a lot of people can't do that. They just feed into that energy and they presume things, you know? Like, there's a reason why those people who go to premieres, nobody trusts those reviews. I don't trust those reviews because they're sellouts, first of all. And secondly, they're surrounded by all this glamour and all this Hollywood royalty and stuff like that. So clearly, they're not going to have a well sound, valid, and just honest experience because they have all these things attributing to it. And they are considering other things, the benefits that they can get, like getting more screenings, getting access to that industry. Like, it doesn't lend itself to critical thinking, you know? So, like, that's what I think is destructive when it comes to hype, when it comes to being and excited or anticipating anything. I don't have that in me. I don't do that. I've never really been excited for a film. I just am interested in movies, but I've never gone into a film with that mindset. I just never had. I never go into a film going like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be fucking awesome." I don't do that because it sets me up for disappointment all the time. Because I have these impossible expectations that are built, and they're always gonna be they're never ever gonna be met because I set them up too high. What I do is that I go into film and I just listen. I just allow the film to talk, and I see what's up. What's up? If it's good, then I will enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, it's based on what the film is saying to me. You know, it's not me inserting my business onto the film. It's about letting that film talk to me, and I determine whether or not I enjoy that company or not. So, but it seems as though a lot of people today are just kind of allowing that adrenaline to just take priority and just basking in a certain kind of fun. But when it comes to critical thinking, like, that's why people say critics are, not, or they say that critics are not well rounded. You're like, yo, you're supposed to have fun with this, okay? It's not that kind of movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the type of comments that critics or people who have that sort of using critical thinking get. It's like, they're there to watch the film. They're not there for what you're doing. Okay, one person is here to watch it because it's a concert and it's just something to have fun with friends. Okay, they're just there to be entertained and just to have themselves an experience with their friends. Whereas people over here are here to watch the film. They're here to experience the movie. They're there here to have a theatrical experience. They're there to watch something and soak in the narrative, soak in the environment. These guys don't give a fuck about that. They're just there to have fun. So that's the distinction that we have to make. There's the people who are there just to have a good time, and then there's the people who are there to watch something and just take it in and determine whether or not what they're watching is good or not. Um, so in that, there are distinctions in voices, distinctions in opinions, and in my opinion, the people who are actually there to watch the movie, I am going to want to hear their opinions more than the people over here who are just going to have a fun time regardless of what's on screen. Um, so that's just my opinion on that. Not saying you can't have fun. I mean, if you had fun, that's awesome. It's always good to have a good time. But if I were to ask you about your opinion on the movie, I just don't think that your opinion is going to hold much water compared to the person who actually sat there and listened and actually has more to say, versus the guy who just said, "Yeah, it was pretty good." You know, it was it was fucking fun. Some very just vague comments. Very vague ideas. I don't know. So, like I said, not against having a good time. I'm just against your judgment because you didn't wish to have one when you came in. So, So those are my thoughts, and you guys let me know. I mean, like I said, I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I mean, if you're gonna have fun, go have fun. I'm just here to watch the movie. I have my fun in watching the movie. You know, I don't split that. I try to have fun by watching the movie. So, um, but you guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you guys like that energy if it's there? Have you guys ever been in a theater where that sort of energy is predominant, where people are just screaming and yelling? I've seen that online. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced that. I personally have not. I would hate that. I would totally hate that. But I don't know if some of you guys enjoy that type of company or that type of energy. Let me know. Let me know if that adds to your experience or maybe takes it away. Can you tolerate that? Can you still have a good judgment? Do you believe that your judgment is sound in that environment? I feel that it's filtered and it just hinders the experience, limits really the kind of critical thinking, you know, that you can actually have with something. Because where's you know what I mean? Like where do you end up having an opinion on something and where are you just having fun, you know? I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry, like I said, just I don't know why I just got a little anxious for some reason, but you guys want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.